Hello folks, this is Sullla speaking, listening to another video for League of Legends, this one featuring Singed. In this game, this is taken from a draft pick mode normal game. I'm playing as Singed alongside three of my friends, Varus Nox playing as Trundle, Sideberg, or also known as Speaker, playing as Vayne, and Poohmaster, who's playing as Xerath. In addition to that, we've picked up a random fifth player in matchmaking, a Leona player, who goes by the name of Armsun, it looks like. So we do have a random fifth player on our Leona. Then we're matched up against a team, and I'll pull up the item screen here. We're matched up against a team with Misfortune, Alistar, Malzahar, Sion, and Talon for the other side. Now, one of the interesting things we noticed on the staging screen was that they did not have anyone with Smite, so it looks like they are not going to be running a jungler for this game, which is a bit surprising. At this level of play, you generally don't see very many games where the teams don't take a jungler, but sometimes teams will choose to do that, and it looks like that was the case in this particular game. So we were trying to figure out what the lanes were. We were trying to figure out, okay, they'll probably have Malzahar mid, and then we would expect Misfortune, Alistar in bottom lane, but then that means top lane is going to be Sion plus Talon. So that is in fact what they would end up doing, and we'll see how that is going to go out as we go on through this video. So nonetheless, like I said, was a draft pick normal mode game. It's unfortunate that there's no clairvoyance on either side. We didn't really have a support unless you count Leona as a support, and our Leona did not take clairvoyance. So we don't have a clairvoyance, and the other team doesn't have a clairvoyance either. So there's going to be a lack of map sight on either side. As I said, this Leona player, we asked in the staging room what champion this person wanted to play. They had the last pick on our team, and they said, I'm picking Leona, basically like no matter what, I'm picking Leona. So we were like, okay. You don't see very many Leona players because in the current makeup of League of Legends, she's one of the weaker champions in the game. Biggest issue is she does have a lot of crowd control, but she just doesn't do very much damage is sort of the biggest issue, and it's a little bit of a shame. Hopefully the Riot will go through and give her a little bit of a buff just to make her more viable. I think if they increase Leona's base stats a bit and make it so she could actually do some damage, then she might be viable. And she's a neat champion, but she's just not really somebody you can play right now because she really doesn't do any damage. And if you want a support champion for bottom lane, there are just much better picks available. So anyway, our Leona player is going to head off to bottom lane. We're going to have Varus get started here at blue buff. We were a little bit afraid that the enemy team would come and try to jungle invade us because Alistar, Sion, both of them very, very strong level 1 champions. The rest of their team not especially strong or weak, but those two very strong. Anyway, so Poohmaster is going to be in middle here with Xerath playing against their Malzahar. They are indeed going to send Misfortune and Alistar into bottom lane, and in top they're going to have Sion plus Talon as their top lane. So this is unfortunate because I have no ranged attacks, so this is troublesome here. Probably should drink my health potion here, if I remember. Now, normally when teams don't take a jungler, that is when they're going to do a straight 2v1 in top lane, usually they're not smart enough to realize that they should zone. That is, they shouldn't be auto-attacking the creep, shouldn't be auto-attacking the minions. Unfortunately, this team does seem to be smart enough. See how Sion is just roaming back and forth here? He's trying to zone me off the minion line while their Talon player goes ahead and farms. So they're doing what they should do there. And I really don't know why I didn't just drink one of these health pots. Didn't have enough life here. Probably would have been a better idea in retrospect. So anyway, they are going to push this minion wave here. And now watch, I'm going to make a mistake. I'm going to go forward to try to get this minion hit. And now I'm going to drink my health potion, but it's too late because they're going to go forward. Sion stunned me. Talon's going to use his rake, and they're going to ignite me. And that was a very silly first blood to give away. So a mistake on my part. Don't know why I didn't drink that health potion sooner, and it's going to allow them to push to my tower. But fortunately, I do have teleport, so I'm not going to miss out on all this experience and all this farm. That would be just absolutely dreadful if I missed out on all of this. So I'm just going to use my poison to try to get as many last hits as I can, as much gold as I can. But what's really important here is trying to get the experience. If I hadn't brought teleport for this game, I would have been in real trouble because I would have only made it back to the lane like right now. And notice how I got level 3 off of that huge wave of minions here. So anyway, that could have been a lot worse, even worse than it actually went, and it didn't go particularly well. All things considered, it could have been worse. So I'm going to end up getting 7 minion kills, which is not good, but like I said, it could have been a little bit worse. Although unfortunately now my lane's going to push out again. So I'm just going to try to play super carefully because I know that Sion is lurking in the bushes right there. See, here he comes out. Hopefully he'll keep doing that. Hopefully he'll keep exploding his shield like that. Anyway, there I'm going to fling him and then poison him. So I'm just chugging health pots all the while. That's the reason why I bought the Boots of Speed for my first item, because I wanted to have a lot of health pots. Anyway, right here I'm going to get a fling on Cinch into the tower, and he almost almost dies right there. So that was actually pretty good, and I'm hoping that he'll make more mistakes like that. Anyway, Sion is going to go heal, so I realize I have a minute here where I can actually get in a little bit of farming before he comes back. But unfortunately, notice the summoner choice, Sion has chosen to bring teleport as well, so he's going to be back to the lane almost immediately, and it's going to just really eliminate the opportunity for me to get in much farm. See, here he is. He's going to teleport back to the lane immediately right there. So really, once again, all that I can do is just try to farm here underneath my tower. I'm just hoping that they're going to push the minion wave to my tower as much as possible, where they'll give me a chance to farm. And right here, I'm in a lot of trouble, but I actually am going to be able to make it out of here, although I am going to burn my ghost in the process. Meanwhile, down here in bottom lane, like I said, Speaker's Vayne is playing against this Misfortune Alistar combination. And right there, Alistar is going to initiate and go in with his Pulverize, and he's actually going to score a kill on Speaker there. And now, meanwhile, Misfortune and Alistar are going after this Leona player, and they're actually going to score a second kill there. So they're actually going to get a double kill. And our Leona immediately freaks out, saying, "Please save your HP." I guess that means stay at higher health or something like that. Part of the problem there, though, is, of course, that Leona has no heal. It's one of the reasons why she's not a very good support. She also cannot shield you, so it's a little bit difficult when you're harassing back and forth. So our Leona was not particularly pleased by that turn of events, was not happy at all. Anyway, I saw Talon disappear, so I'm going to let the team know that. I'm going to try to head back here. Unfortunately, Sion got a lot of damage into the tower there. Even though they didn't kill me, because I had to go back to heal, otherwise I would have died, they did manage to get in a lot of damage to my tower. And Talon also has gone back to buy, and now he's picked up some combination of longswords and Doran's Blade, which is, again, really bad because of how well he scales. Anyway, it was a fight down there in bottom lane. Apologies for missing that. Varus went down here and ganked bottom lane, and they were able to score a kill. Leona was not in the fight because, again, telling people that they are wrong is much more important than actually heading back to the lane. Anyway, sorry, just having a little bit of fun with our Leona player there. Anyway, like I said, Talon has bought more damage items, and that's bad because of how well Talon scales with bonus damage. So that was a troubling sign here, and what I need most of all is just levels. I need levels so that I will get more hit points, and they won't be able to dive me at tower. I'm trying to build towards a Catalyst. Right there, Sion's going to stun me, and then Talon's going to use his Rake. Well, they were able to get a kill in bottom lane, it looks like. So, having a little bit more success in bottom lane than they were having before. Like I said, I need more levels. I need them to keep doing that, having Sion shield explode, having Talon use his Rake. I want to be able to hit 6 before they get their ultimates, so that I can have my ult before they get theirs, basically. Like I said, one of the problems with this matchup is Singed doesn't have any attacks that are ranged. So even though Singed can be good sometimes in a 2v1 situation, in this particular matchup, I was really struggling a bit. See, here I go. I'm gonna chug another health potion, and then actually even drink another one after that too. If I had just some kind of ranged attack, I'd be in much better shape so that I could last hit minions when they weren't right next to the tower. As it is, they keep pushing to my tower, and this is a very strong combination in the current setup. You will see this sometimes. People will pick Sion and Talon and then go bottom lane. It's sort of a counter to the carry plus support, which is the current metagame, the current style, is to have a ranged AD carry, ranged attack damage champion, and then someone who supports them, someone who babysits them. So Sion Talon is sort of a counter to that. Sion stuns, and then Talon jumps in, uses his blink, and they just burst down somebody. The idea is just to kill somebody before the support can heal the damage. So, like I said, this is a pretty strong matchup. The one problem is if they don't get early kills, they are going to be weaker down the road because they'll be splitting farm between the two. So, like I said, I'm trying to play defensively here, trying to stay by my tower, but right there, Talon's going to blink in, he's going to use his Rake, and then he's going to use his ultimate, and he's going to, one of them's going to use their Ignite, and just like that, I'm going to die right there. And I didn't even think I was doing anything aggressively there, but they just had enough burst damage between the two of them that they were able to get a kill and finish me off, which is, again, unfortunate. And then Sion's going to pop his ult for the attack speed, and they're actually going to take down my tower here. Nothing we can do. I'm not going to be able to teleport back there before it's up. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, Leona is going to get killed there by their Misfortune player, and Leona again is just going to flip out here and just not be pleased one bit by this particular turn of events. So we'll see that in a second here. But that, again, not going too well. 6-3 in favor of the enemy team, so we are behind here. We are struggling, and we have lost that top tower. Again, I felt really bad about this. But yeah, again, see, our Leona player just decides that just decides, I'm not going to cover this vein anymore. Anyway, we'll get back to that in a minute, but right here, Varys and I are going to go in against this Scion player. Scion's going to use his flash right there. We're going to get the pillar, and I'm going to try to fling this Talon. There we go, going to get the fling off right there, but Talon's going to flash away as well. So we weren't able to get a kill, but we did get their 2 flashes down. Meanwhile, Poohmaster as Zareth going to trade back and forth with Malzahar. Malefic Vision's going to get that kill. Scion says that he juked us when we were sort of like, wait, you didn't juke us, you used flash to get out of the situation. So we thought that was a little bit interesting. But our Leona player, not happy, was going after our Vayne player Speaker, who said, you didn't save your HP. I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to mean. Anyway, here, Talon going to come after me, and I realized, I need to just get out of this fight or Talon's going to kill me because he already has that early brutalizer. So gonna pop my ult, and it's going to give me just enough movement speed that I'm going to be able to run out of there and survive. But once again, unfortunately, Talon 2 early kills and first blood, both of which I gave him, of course, so perfectly fair, on 60 minion kills to my 30. So all kinds of trouble here. Just can't really lane against that Talon anymore. He's just become too strong, especially with Scion there to help him out. Now, Varys saw that that Scion player was sticking around, so we're going to try to go after this guy. I'm going to use my teleport here to jump into the fight. He's going to use his stun right there. Nice pillar coming in from Varys. This Scion player trying to run away, but look, here's Talon as well. Talon is unfortunately still here. I'm trying to catch up to Talon so I can fling him back into the middle of us. Don't have my ghost up because I used it to run away in that last engagement. Again, I'm just trying to fling this Talon. There comes the sticky go, and I'm finally going to get the fling off, but they've been just harassing us down the whole time right there, and unfortunately, I'm going to get killed once again, and now Varys is going to try to run out of here. Is he going to be able to escape as Trundle? Yes, looks like he is going to be able to make it out of here. But once again, we just tried to win that fight, and again, the tactics I don't think were bad. I think the problem was Talon was just too strong, too farmed already from getting those 2 kills, and now unfortunately we've given him a 3rd kill. He's 3-0 and I am 0-3, and I was feeling really bad about this game just because of the fact that I had fed all those early kills. Again, engage in middle lane, and Malzahar is going to win with 50 HP left. Just barely finishing off Poohmaster right there. So again, just sort of a kick in the nuts right there to lose that fight. Anyway, Leona, our Leona player has apparently decided that she is not going to attempt to win this game, so she just runs out and immediately feeds a kill to Misfortune and Alistar. Now again, we were in bad shape in this game. We were down 10-4 at that point in time in kills, and we lost our top. We did lose 2 of our towers, so the game's not looking good. But needless to say, to just run out like that and just feed them a kill, very unnecessary. Not something that had to be done right there by any means. Anyway, I am just trying to farm this top lane. There's still 2 champs up here, Scion and Talon, still hanging around up in this top lane. So again, just trying to defend. They are pushing forward pretty aggressively up there in top lane. And now watch what's going to happen here. Our Leona has just revived, so let's check out what Leona is going to decide to do when she comes back to the lane. Going to run forward, and right there, going to ignite a minion. So, thanks Leona. Gonna burn flash to just run forward into the middle of the enemy team, and just going to suicide 1v2 and feed another kill to this Misfortune. So, thanks a lot, Leona. That's really helpful to just run forward and ignite a minion like that. So, needless to say, our Leona player has given up. Our Leona player has decided that she's just going to feed kills to the other team and just going to do her best to make us lose this game. No idea why people do that. I've always hated people like this. So even though we only have 1 random player on our team, our Leona player is going to do her best to try to make sure that we lose this game. Anyway, the rest of us have not given up on this game. Varys is going to go ahead and sneak a dragon there, so very nicely done. One reason why we didn't think this game was over is because the enemy team was super disorganized. They were not playing in any kind of united fashion. Notice that there's 2 people pushing way too aggressively. They should not be this far pushed up forward because it's very easy for us to counter gank them when they're just so pushed forward like this. And again, same thing in bottom lane. Misfortune and Alistar doing the same thing. Of course, in bottom lane, Leona is just feeding to the enemy team. Notice how Leona has run forward to just auto-attack minions with knowing full well that Alistar and Misfortune are behind her there. So Leona just, again, not going to make any attempt to try and do anything here except auto-attack creeps. The rest of our team trying to help out. Poohmaster has come down from middle lane. Speaker and Varys are doing their best right here, trying to engage on that Misfortune player. Speaker has been ignited underneath the tower, and they are going to score a kill on that Alistar player. player right there. And meanwhile, right here, Master is still fighting against the Malzahar player and their Scion player. Scion has come down from top lane, still fighting back and forth. Can Master make it out of here? No, not going to be able to make it out of there. So we're going to go 1 for 2 there. Enemy team is going to come out ahead. I was still up here in top lane. I would have gone down there if I'd had my teleport, but it wasn't up, unfortunately. And I was trying to defend this tower because Talon was still up there in top lane. Unfortunately, though, again, they're just pushing with a lot of champs down here, going to score that tower as well. So we are in all kinds of trouble at this point in time. Down 9 kills, they've gotten 3 towers. But again, we didn't really feel like we were out of this game just because the other team was playing so sloppily, just pushing lanes aimlessly, not making any attempt to ward the map, not working together as a team. They haven't grouped up even once yet. So even though, like I said, things are going very badly, we didn't feel like we were totally out of this game. We were just hoping that our Leona player would not continue feeding deaths to the enemy team in the same sort of reckless fashion that she's been doing. Now Talon, for example, Talon at low health, he did steal our blue buff, which was a nice move on his part, but again, he just keeps pushing forward super aggressively over and over again in this lane. And so Varus and I were trying to slip out and manage to get a kill on him there, but he did wisely back after taking our blue buff there and being on low health. But again, I finally am having a chance to do a little bit of farming up here in top lane, which is what I want to go after. Gonna miss that last hit though, oh well. But again, I need to get in this farm, so trying to get that. And look, here comes Scion. Again, super aggressive teleporting this far forward. I mean, again, it's just sloppy play. It's just when you get ahead like this, what they should be doing is grouping up and trying to take this middle tower. That would be a much smarter idea than you know, pushing lanes forward like that. Meanwhile, Speaker's still trying to get some farm in bottom lane in his vein. And now here, Varus is going to make a mistake. He's trying to get away from Scion, and he's going to run into the rest of the enemy team. And Alistar is going to finish him off with a headbutt right there. So that was a mistake, running the wrong way, getting caught in the jungle. And now, meanwhile, they're going to push on our middle lane tower. And this is indeed what they should be doing, as I was saying a minute ago. Pushing on that tower as a group. Malzahar is going to be tanking a lot of tower shots. But they have 5 here in mid, and now we need to react. We need to get over here. Speaker is indeed recalling, trying to get back to this fight. So, unfortunately, we are going to... We need to try to defend this tower. Again, it's still early in the game for them to be pushing this aggressively. Leona just going to jump into the middle of the enemy team and instantly suicide. So once again, thanks a lot, Leona. You're being a true help in this game. Master getting ulted by their Malzahar player right there. Fortunately, they're going to burn the Misfortune ult. Now, right here, though, they're pushing on this tower. Going to go forward here. Going to try to just disrupt them as much as possible. Going to get a fling there on Scion. They have lost all their minions, so they're starting to tank tower shots, and it's early enough in the game that these tower shots are going to hurt them a lot. See, Scion's going to tank 2 more tower shots. Right here, going to grab Misfortune, fling her into the tower. And again, now Alistar's trying to save Misfortune here. Varus Nox going to get ignited, and again, now they're going to dive past the tower. Malzahar going to die there from tower shots. Talon going to die there from tower shots. Now Alistar diving after me once again, going to hit his pulverize, but I'm going to survive. And so they're actually going to feed us 3 kills there at the end, with Leona, who did nothing, getting that last kill. They're going to feed us 3 kills, so even though that was bad, we did lose the tower. We had a couple more champions killed. Even though that was bad, they did feed us 3 kills at the end of that fight, completely unnecessarily, just from people tanking tower shots. And that actually is going to help out quite a bit. It got me 2 kills, even though I didn't really get the kills. It was the tower that got the kills, but I get credit because I was the last person to hit them. We also ended a couple killing streaks there. I know that Talon died, and he was on a killing streak. Oh, sorry about missing that there. Yes, Master able to get a kill on their Misfortune player there in mid. And again, I didn't see the exact circumstances of that. But as I was saying, yeah, see right here, I actually got credit for shutting down 2 killing sprees. The one that was on Talon and the one that was on Malzahar. So that actually gave me a lot of gold, and it was enough to finish Rod of Ages, which again is going to help out quite a bit. So getting, I think I got close to 1,000 gold from those 2 kills with the normal gold credit plus the killing spree gold. So that, like I said, helped out quite a bit, and I actually got a blue buff out of that too, which is kind of funny. So I'm going to go and try to split push this lane and try to again have teleport up, so if I need to jump out of this lane, if I need to run into middle lane, I'll be able to do that. But again, just trying to put some pressure on their side lanes, trying to get in some farm, and also puts a little bit of pressure on their side towers. And again, here I think I'm just going to recall out of here because I didn't feel too safe. We had no vision. If we had some kind of vision on the river, I could think about going and continuing to push that, but it's just not safe enough otherwise. So going to recall back to base, and that gave me enough money to pick up my Merc Treads. So like I said, still in all kinds of trouble in this game. Oh, by the way, Leona just going to die again. here. Ganked by 4 of them, just rushing forward to push creeps in mid. I like how Leona made no attempt even to walk out of that. Not that it would have helped, but making no attempt, and also seems very happy to die there. So again, thanks Leona, you're really helping us a lot. Okay, now once again, enemy team, what they should do is take Baron. This is the play for them. They should go take Baron. We can't come out of our base to challenge them. Instead, Misfortune in bottom lane, 4 of them here in mid, pushing on this tower. So we're going to fight 4v4 here in mid with the tower on our side. Again, trying to go after that Talon. He's the one I'm most concerned about. Trying to get after him. Wasn't able to because Sion stunned me. But I am going to grab Malzahar here and fling him back into the team. And right there, Speaker is going to tumble forward as Vayne. He's going to pick up that kill right there. So once again, going to fling the goo. Can we get Sion here? Yep, going to toss Sion back into the middle of our team. Pumaster doing a nice job. There's the Ignite coming out. A nice pillar slow from Varus. However, Talon has now popped his ult and he's going to run into the middle of our team and just going to start blowing people up. We are going to manage to get the kill there as I get taken down as well. And when the dust settles, the enemy team has come out ahead 3-2. So 3 kills for them, 2 kills for us. And Leona, who, once again, Leona did nothing in that fight, was just auto-attacking creeps in the side lane, and is now going to suicide to Misfortune. So once again, thank you, Leona. Really helping us out in these team fights right there. Sure would have been nice if Leona had jumped into this fight here instead of just running off to a side lane to auto-attack creeps. So anyway, they won that fight 3-2, but again, I mean, things could have been worse. When we're behind by this much, going 2 for 3 isn't the end of the world, actually, because they're so far ahead in this game. When we can do that, it doesn't hurt us that much, all things considered. Here, I'm actually going to waste teleport. I thought that we would have a chance maybe to chase down this Misfortune, but I was wrong, and that was a waste of teleport. I could have gone up here and pushed this lane, or I could have just saved it for use later on. So that was, again, a waste of a summoner there. And as soon as I clicked the button for my teleport, I realized, oh wait, Misfortune's just going to run out of here. Oh well. Now, a little thing about itemizing on Singed, I looked at their team when I was dead, and I said, okay, who's killing us on their team? Misfortune has 7 kills, Talon has 7 kills, so I need to build some armor next. So I'm going to pick up the Chain Vest, and I'm going to make Glacial Shroud my next item, because it will give me armor, it will give me mana, it will give me cooldown reduction, and then because of Singed passive, where he converts mana into extra health, it's going to, that mana is going to make me tankier too. So I think that that was a pretty solid choice. Now, right here, we're going to make one of the biggest plays in this particular game. We saw that there were 2 of them in bottom lane. We saw Malzahar there. We noticed that they were just really split up, and we said, you know what? That Baron sitting there, this is our best chance to get back in the game. Let's just rush this Baron. Now, very high risk, very high reward play. If they have any kind of ward here in mid, or at Baron, they can just come and kill us. But instead, Leona is feeding them another kill over here. We saw them over there with Leona, and we're like, you know what? We're losing this match. We have to do something to try to turn this game around. Their team is completely split. 2 in top lane, 1 in middle, 2 in bottom lane. So we figured, you know what? We have to go for this. It's worth it. It's worth the risk to try to do this. And in fact, we were able to sneak that Baron. So terrible play by their team. And now look at this. Sion just pushing this lane. We're going to come out of here and grab this Sion. Pillar and Puddle of Goo cutting off his retreat. I'm going to fling him into the tower right here as he tries to get away. And so we're going to score another kill right there as well. So that just went perfectly for us. We got a Baron. We got another kill out of it. Of course, Leona died, but at this point in time, that almost doesn't matter. Now, meanwhile, we're going to try to rush down here to stop Malzahar's push on this bottom lane tower. I popped my Ghost right here. Varus, another sweet pillar. Malzahar's going to flash over it. There's the fling. And right now, we should be able to get this kill. And who's going to get the kill? That's right, Leona. So, great. That's exactly who we wanted to kill on, Leona, who feeds them deaths and then kill steals for us. So, thank you, 3-8 Leona. Anyway, once again, going back here, needless to say, that Baron, a huge mistake by the enemy team. Again, just no team play from them whatsoever. People in every lane just pushing forward, not grouping up. They could have had that Baron so easily. They had several chances to take it, but they paid no attention to the Baron, didn't even ward it. They could have come and killed us very easily if they just bothered to put down a ward that cost 70 gold there, and instead they've given us the Baron, given us a little respite here, and given us a chance to just hang around in this match and try to do something if the enemy team continues to make mistakes like that. So right now, Pumaster and I are pushing a minion wave forward here in top. We've gone about as far as we think we can. We saw that from our ward at Baron that some members of the enemy team were around there. So we're just going to back off and get out of here. We don't want to get trapped at this tower and killed. Meanwhile, enemy team is continuing to push forward in lanes. Leona is just auto-attacking creeps in bottom lane. So I guess that's better than dancing at the fountain, but still not the greatest move. Anyway, over here we saw Talon. We thought we might have a chance to get this Talon, but we are going to run into an engagement here, and here we're going to pick a fight that just probably wasn't the best tactical engage right here. I'm making a mistake. In the first place, we don't have well, it's a 4-on-4, so I guess this isn't the worst fight we could be doing. Malzar's down there in bottom lane, but we're just fighting away from our base. We probably should still be playing defensively here. I made a mistake. I thought my poison was on, but apparently it wasn't, and I did most of the fight without poison trail on, which is not the smartest thing in the world for a Singe to be doing. Anyway, we are going to go after this Talon. We are going to score a kill on him, but Leona is once again going to die back there, and the rest of the team has fallen as well. So we're actually going to go 2 for 4, which was not a good fight. Again, I take a lot of responsibility for that. I didn't have my poison trail running. I also didn't use my flings very effectively. I think I picked up and tossed Alistar at one point in the fight, which is just not what you should be doing. But again, we just probably shouldn't have been fighting out there. We should have been back defending our base. So because we lost all those champions and I'm the only one alive, we're going to have to give up our middle inhibitor. And again, just was a mistake. It was a mistaken fight. We shouldn't have been fighting there. I didn't do the greatest fight tactically, but just wasn't where we should have been fighting in the first place. Anyway, I'm going to fling Malzahar, and then we're going to be able to score a kill here, although Speaker is going to die in the process. Right there, I'm going to pick up and fling Scion as well, and now we're going to continue trying to chase this. Oh, Scion on 9 HP. Can we manage to chase this down? Poohmaster and I are trying to get this kill. My ult is up in 1 second. Are we going to be able to finish this off? And Poohmaster going to go into his Locus of Power, and he's going to finish off Scion there. So beautifully done by Poohmaster, showing off that incredible Xerath range, which is, of course, the trademark of that champion. Meanwhile, Miss Fortune was on full health, and she was right here, and I don't know why she didn't just kill me, but for whatever reason, she backed off there, and we didn't see Miss Fortune doing anything. I guess she just decided to back off from that fight. So, again, Miss Fortune making a mistake there, and Poohmaster making a very nice play to finish off that Scion player right as he was trying to get away there. And then Scion saying it was luck. So again, a mixture of luck and skill. But Xerath does have that range. It is the one thing that he does have going for him. And other team having a little dialogue here, a little back and forth conversation. Okay, because that was pretty freaking sweet. So kudos to the Alistar player, recognizing a nice player. Very nice of him to say that. Okay, again, a little note on itemizing Singe. Now that I've got the Glacial Shroud, the next thing I want is some more magic resist, so I'm going to pick up the Negatron Cloak here for the extra magic resist. Again, trying to do a little bit of split pushing. Again, have the teleport up, can teleport into fights here in bottom lane. Just want to keep putting pressure on them in the side lanes, especially now that our middle tower is down. Want to keep the side lanes pushed out as much as possible. They've already gotten some damage in on our tower here. See, our tower's under half health here in bottom lane, so by keeping the minion wave pushed out here makes it harder for them to push on that bottom lane. Oh, and by the way, I wonder who's surrender voting. That's right, it's our Leona player. Leona, oh, that Leona player. Just such a fun guy to be playing with, right? Anyway, here I was looking at, should I fight this Miss Fortune? I was like, wait, Bloodthirst or Gunblade? No, I don't want to pick a fight with Miss Fortune. What I wanted to do was teleport over here to bottom lane, and I was actually trying to click around for a minion, and then I accidentally recalled back to base, so I'm going to teleport into this fight right here, but I'm going to get here late, and that's a mistake on my part. If I had gotten here, you know, maybe 5 seconds earlier, I really could have done a lot more in this fight. Instead, we're going to have people dropping left and right. Let's see, is Varus going to be able to survive this on 90 HP? Can Varus manage to get out of here before the enemy team chases him down? And it looks like he is going to be able to escape from here. But still, it wasn't a great fight. And again, I blame myself for that. I had teleport up. I just, for whatever reason, I was slow in clicking on a minion to teleport into that fight. And I got there a couple seconds too late. Now, what their team should be doing here is joining Miss Fortune and pushing that bottom lane tower. Instead, they are diving our Nexus, diving at the double turrets. Almost always a bad mistake to do this. So Varus and I are just going to defend this. They should have been down here with Miss Fortune. Now, Miss Fortune is going to push this inhib and get this. But again, diving in middle like that, they took a lot of damage while they were over there in middle lane. Now, Varus is going to go after this Malzahar player. Now, notice, again, Malz took all that damage while he was diving our two Nexus turrets. And so Varus is going to go after this, going to initiate this fight with his pillar. Miss Fortune is here as well, unfortunately. And Miss Fortune does do a lot of damage. So Varus is going to continue chasing. Another beautiful pillar right here on that Miss Fortune. Out comes the exhaust. Malz and Miss Fortune. Now, Varus is going to get super low, down to 70 HP. Poohmaster has Locust up over here. So now we are going to try to do this fight on low HP. I'm going to hit the slow. And Varus, another beautiful pillar. I'm going to to toss Miss Fortune away from Veristox. Poohmaster locusting up over here, and we're going to get that kill on Miss Fortune. So again, just a really, really nice fight. We're going to end a killing spree again, so get more bonus free gold. Meanwhile, up here, Scion is going to fight against our Leona player, so you know how this one's going to go. And what? Leona is going to win the 1v1? What? No. So again, I don't even know what was going on up there because I was watching that fight. And Leona's going to type, why did feeding by feeder? Okay. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. The only thing I can imagine is that Scion was on low health, and Scion just thought that Leona would intentionally die. And Scion has the same reaction as me. What? So, again, I don't know what happened there. Again, I just think that Scion was expecting Leona to feed a kill intentionally, and to our Leona player's credit, did not do so. Anyway, meanwhile, again, aftermath of that last fight, Poohmaster and Speaker pushed over a tower, so we were able to get another tower. Our first tower of the game, amazingly, if you can believe it. But that extra gold, 150 extra gold to everybody on our team, is appreciated, of course. And meanwhile, I'm just getting in a little bit more farming. So, we do have 2 inhibs down, like I said. We did lose our second inhib in that fight, but our first one is going to be up soon. Fighting with 2 inhibs down is very tough because you're going to lose your base pretty quickly, but you can deal with having 1 inhib down without too much trouble, so fortunately one of them is going to respawn. Now, the other big thing in the game is Baron is back up again. Baron has respawned, the 7-minute timer is up, so what I did when I went back to buy was I had enough gold for my Force of Nature, which is great, magic resist, movement speed, very key on Singed, the movement speed, and I also picked up a Sight Ward and an Oracle. I want the Sight Ward to toss down here at Baron, so we'll be able to have vision in case their team goes for it. I want the Oracle to clear their wards, and also because, remember, Talon on their team, Talon 10 kills. If I can, by having Oracle on our team, it's going to make it much easier for us to deal with Talon in these fights, because we'll be able to see him as soon as he pops his ultimate, and he won't just be able to do the, you know, typical Akali / Talon thing where they run in, burst their damage, and then they pop their ultimate, and they can just run out of there with nothing the wiser. So anyway, that was pretty key because now notice having that ward there gives us vision. We can see that they're around here. We can see that they're around Baron. It's a little bit tricky for us. Unfortunately, we have a big minion wave pushing our base, but with only the 1 inhibitor down, we can come out and actually fight for this. So we're going to look to engage here at Baron. Going to run in here. I've popped my ult. Going to run in here and try to go after them. I'm going to grab Malzahar and fling him. I'm not sure if that was the right target necessarily. I probably should have been going for Miss Fortune, so that was a bit of a mistake. Malz is going to ult Poohmaster, and now here I make a mistake. I run after Varus. What I should do is run up here and help Speaker in his fight with Miss Fortune. This is the key fight up here, and Miss Fortune's going to win that particular engagement. So that was a big mistake on my part. Should have gone up there in the AD versus AD fight. If I had been up there, we would have won that. Instead, we lost it, and we've actually gone 1 for 3 in that particular engagement. However, their team is pretty low up here, and now remember, one key thing from this game setup, they do not have a jungler, so they do not have a smite on their team. So Varus going to sneak up here, going to be very sneaky up here, going to jump up here, and right here, I'm going to look in on the fight. There we go. So notice the Baron at 1600 health. I'm going to teleport in here and watch Varus going to jump in there with flash, and he's going to smite it, and smite still the Baron. And now again, I'm going to make a mistake. I'm going to run after this Scion who's going to stun me. Should have been going after these guys. I think we could have gotten some kills if we jumped in on those guys. As it is, we're not going to get any kills, which is a bit of a downer right there. Speaker saying afterwards, oh, they actually had a ward there. I didn't even see that. Wow. Okay, we should have cleared that ward. Never saw that while we were playing the game. I probably should have run in the other direction. I just saw Scion on like 15% health and ran after him, but he was able to stun me and get out of it, and I actually did not have Ghost or ult up in that particular engagement. Still, nevertheless, we were able to get Baron, and we have Baron on only 2 members of my team, myself and Varus, but we all get the gold benefit. So we all get that what is it? It's like 250 gold per person, I believe. So we all got the gold, and we denied them getting the Baron, which is of course also very, very key. The fact that they just don't have Baron is really important, and Scion even saying that was ridiculous. But again, it's due to the fact that they didn't have a jungler, and that's why taking a jungler is so important in this game. Not having that jungler basically cost them a Baron there. Otherwise, we would not have been able to get that. Little bit of an engagement here with our Leona player and Poohmaster, and well, you know how this story ends already with our Leona player just dying to their team. So yeah, it would be nice to have our 5th player up, but we're just gonna have to play 4v5 for the moment. Anyway, they are going to group and head for this inhibitor, so we're going to try to do our best to defend this. Fortunately, Varus and I do have Baron, but it's going to be a 5-on-4 in their favor. Right there, Varus is going to get a nice pillar, so I'm going to pop my ultimate, run in here into the middle of the fight. I want to go for Talon. He's the one I want to go to. He does the most damage on our team, so I'm going to key on Talon, try to get him. I flung him into the middle of the fight, and he's very low, but he's going to be chased out of this fight. Now they've split up. Notice here, Malzahar, Misfortune split up there. Going to grab Malzahar and kill him. Speaker's going to get a great condemn into the wall on their Misfortune player. Now right here, I'm going to zone these two out of the fight while Varus and Poohmaster kill Sion, but I'm going to zone these two out. I managed to get Tion and Alistair out away from the fight, and now is where the chasing begins, and that's what Singed excels at. There goes the goo. I'm going to get the fling, and Poohmaster's going to get the kill, and don't look now, but we just went 4 for 1 in that last fight. They did not fight that very well at all. Tactically, they didn't stay together. We were able to get them split up. Varus had some sweet pillars. Speaker had a great condemn into the wall with Vayne that took Misfortune out of the fight, and we were able to win that fight even though Leona was not there. Oh, by the way, so Leona is actually doing something useful defending our inhib down here, but again, played no role in that last fight whatsoever. It was a straight 4v5. So we're going to take advantage of this to go and push middle lane. I tanked that first turret. Now we have some minions up, so we're going to be able to get this second tower before the rest of their team revives. Not going to be able to get any further than that, but we are going to be able to grab 2 towers in mid, and again, another 150 gold times 2, so 300 gold for 2 towers times 5, so 1,500 global gold for our team. Excuse me. I think I've said a couple of different times that right around this point in time when I'm casting videos is when my voice starts to go out, so maybe it'll get a little bit better with practice. Oh, well, again, and in the aftermath of that, we got the 2 towers, and now we're going to go and grab this dragon. And their team, even though they've had map control for most of the game, has just done a very, very shaky job of trying to control the map. Varus and Poohmaster are going to check out their blue. It's not up, so they're going to go back. But then watch what happens right when Poohmaster's recalling. Watch what's going to pop. Blue buff respawns right there. So we're like, oh, great, cool, blue buff. So Varus and Poohmaster are going to head up here. Again, blue, key on Xerath. He is very blue dependent. What he wants to do is sit back at long range and just nuke people over and over and over again with his long range. So having blue buff on Xerath, like I said, very important, and we're just going to steal their blue and sneak on out of there with it. Okay, so now this is actually going to set up the next fight. Poohmaster is going to get trapped here in the dragon spawning pool. Going to hop out of there. Good thing dragon wasn't active. Now they are going to start using their flashes to chase afterwards. Here comes Talon. Going to use Talon and Misfortune both using their flashes to chase after it. So now we're going to look to counter gank this. I'm going to pop my ultimate right here. Talon is going to get the kill, but Talon is now out of position for getting that kill on Poohmaster. So we're going to go in on Talon. He can't go invisible because I have my Oracle. So we're going to get that kill, or Leona is going to get that kill. And now I want to go after Misfortune here, so gonna toss down the goo. Alistair's gonna try to save this with headbutt, but again, there's the fling. Misfortune right in the middle of that goo, has nowhere to go, so we're going to burst her down. Next target is Malzahar. I need my fling to come off cooldown. There it is. As soon as my fling's off cooldown, I can interrupt this channel. Gonna get that kill as well. Now we're going after Sion in the middle of 4 of us, and we're going to burst him down, and we're going to get that kill as well. So once again, 4 for 1, all set up by that chase. It was just a mistake for them to chase after Poohmaster there. Misfortune and Talon flashed over the wall, but then the rest of their team couldn't flash after the wall and follow it up. So we actually ended up fighting like a 4-on-2 there because they chased. Now the enemy team, as things are starting to turn against them, they immediately go into blame mode and start blaming Alistair, which I don't understand. I didn't see Alistair do anything wrong in that fight. But meanwhile, we'll ignore that chat for the moment. I am going to sit here and tank this tower. Again, I am singed. I have 3,000 health and I have 244 armor. So that's going to allow me to sit here and tank tower shots. Now, Talon has revived and he is chasing after us. And right here, he's going to go in after Speaker. And we're going to try to save this with Pillar, but we weren't able to. Varus ending up dying there in order to save Speaker's Vayne. So Talon going to revive, going to get a kill. I guess that was a little bit sloppy of us in retrospect. What we ideally should have done was back off right when we saw Talon, but we did want to get that tower, and we do have the tower down, so that inhib is exposed right now, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, we did have to lose a member of our team to do that. So even though, again, still down in kills, their team's still ahead 38 to 29 in kills, and this is a lot of kills. By the way, our Leona even admitting that she was feeding to the other team. Leona outright admitting that, yes, she was feeding to the enemy team. So again, thanks a lot, Leona. Needless to say, what we want to do right now is just stall for a little bit, give time for Varus to revive. Remember, we do still have these inhibitors exposed, so they can push these inhibs at any point in time. What they probably should have done was toss down a ward like right here, and then that way Sion would always have the ability to teleport to the ward and threaten our base. I didn't ever see them do that during this game, but it is something you can do when you have a teleport on your team. Leona is in a rather exposed position, but thanks to the fact that we've gotten all this global gold and the fact that Leona does actually have 5 kills, somehow, in this game, Leona actually does have pretty decent items. Trinity Force, Sunfire Cape, Force of Nature, so Leona is pretty tanky, but our Leona doesn't do any damage. Anyway, Varus has revived, so we're going to try to make a defense here at our inhibitor. Their team just pushing that inhib again. Not really done anything except push lanes the whole game. So I'm going to pop my ult, and we're going to initiate. Speaker is lurking over here in the brush. Again, who do I want to go on? Talon, #1 target, because Talon does so much damage. So we're going to try to go after him. He's been pillared, and indeed, he's going to go down first. Next target, Misfortune. So we're going to try to go over there. Well, Malzahar is going to be the next one to fall, but again, trying to go on Misfortune right there. There we go. Going to get her before she can finish off Xerath. And now going after Scion, going after Alistar, and we are actually going to end up acing them in this fight right there. So we were able to do a pretty good job in that fight. I think that part of the thing is our team is just tankier than theirs, and we have enough tankiness right now to survive their burst. So once they get off their burst, you know, Scion stun, Talon using his Rake and his ultimate, Malzahar using his combo. Once we get past that burst, we are just have a lot more sustain in these fights than they do. So we did lose Leona, we did lose Speaker, our Vayne player, but we managed to ace them in that fight. Poohmaster was able to stay in the back and stay safe, which was also, I think, pretty key in that. So with no tower mid, we're going to rush. We're going to grab this inhib in middle lane. And now notice what else is up on the map. Right over here, Baron has respawned. So we're going to ping it, and we're going to head straight for Baron. If we can get Baron before they revive, and which we should be able to do, Talon is the only one who has revived so far. If we can get this Baron before they revive, we'll be in really strong shape for the other team. And they're even sensing it as well, because the other team has now started initiating surrender votes right now, because apparently they're not all that happy with the way the game is going either. We also did save our 2 inhibs, so both still back up. We are actually the one who has an inhib down now, as we were able to take that one in middle lane. We don't have too much damage here, but Varus does have his wriggle, so that is going to help us out. Again, I'm just trying to fling the Baron every time that comes off cooldown, keep it poisoned, and there we go. Going to get that Speaker running in at the end. And now right here, Scion is out here, and we were considering engaging on this fight. I'm going to pop actually Ghost and ult and run in there, but Speaker's like, guys, don't fight. Poohmaster's on like no health and no mana. If we fight a 5v5 right now, we're probably going to lose. So Speaker, very good advice. Again, he didn't type this. He said this over the voice chat that we had, but it was really good advice. It wasn't a good fight for us to pick because, #1, Leona not here, down in bottom lane. Again, Poohmaster on low health, on low mana. So it would have been a poor fight to pick. We can just back off. We can look to force another fight later on. So it wasn't a good engage. So good advice from Speaker. Oh, now one other thing I have to mention here. I had bought more armor earlier in the game. I had bought another chain vest, and then I was like, what should I buy for my next item? Oh, I have a lot of health. Let's buy Atma's Impaler. Now, to be fair, this is not a good item on Singed. I have to say, the item I should have bought was Rylai's, and I belatedly realized that when I bought the Giant's Belt here, but don't buy Atma's Impaler on Singed. It's a stupid item. I bought the wrong one. Should have gone for Rylai's instead. Anyway, I'll get back to that in a minute, but Scion was trying to take our blue buff. We ran over here, and we caught him at our blue. Again, by himself, not with the rest of the team, so we're going to pick him up. He's actually doing the right thing, trying to burst Poohmaster, but we're going to be able to kill him before he's able to get that kill on Poohmaster. So, going to take that kill, and we're going to take our Golem. And guess what? We now have a 5-on-4 in our favor, and we have Baron as well. Oh, by the way, they had another word there that I didn't clear. So this is really looking good for us right now. We have all kinds of things in our favor. We should be strong enough at this point with Baron, with the numbers advantage, to just engage them 5-on-4 and just straight win the fight. So we're going to look to make our push on this bottom lane. Leona has been just pushing this bottom lane. Again, Leona was never really with us at any point in time in the game, but hey, it works out right now because we're going to be able to push on this tower. We're going to take this minion wave. They're going to give up this tower, and right now that we've got this tower, we were like, hey, you know what? They're going to make a stand at this inhib, but we can just dive them. We'll win the fight if we dive. So I'm going to jump in here, running my ult right there. Going to get the fling on Talon. Again, I go for Talon first in every fight. Next, I'm going to go on MF right here. Leona is going after Malzahar. So we are going to get the kill on MF, and then next, Malzahar is going to fall, and now Alistar is the only one up. Right there, there's the goo. He's going to try to flash, but it's not going to be enough. And there's the fling for the kill. So we did lose Speaker in that fight, but we're going to score an ace, and that's going to be the end of this game right here because there's no way they can defend their base. And Leona's going to say search fun game for whatever reason. But that's it. They surrender before we can even finish off the Nexus. So that's game. Sorry I didn't save my HP, Leona. So going back to the earlier comment. So again, a complete turnaround. Sticking around, managing to turn that one back in our favor. Alright, we'll wrap this up and look at the stats. Okay, well, final numbers here from the finishing screen. I don't really want to get into too many of the specifics because I don't think a game like this is best summed up by things like kills, deaths, and assists. It was a real team effort all the way around between all four of our players, between myself, between Varys, between Speaker, and between Poohmaster. I thought everybody did a very, very nice job of just working together in this game. Myself trying to fling people, chase people down, do a lot of stuff in the chasing. Varys, who has played Trundle a lot, just had some amazing pillars in this fight, particularly in some of our jungle fights, slowing people down, blocking off avenues of retreat. The one time where he was able to do that fight with their Misfortune player on their team when he was on like 50 health, I thought was pretty impressive. Speaker just doing the standard DPS, range carry, damage per second, got those double Phantom Dancers. I don't know if that's the ideal build or not, but did get the double Phantom Dancers, was doing a lot of damage. Did have the 11 deaths, but that's because he was the #1 target of their team in every fight, and rightly so. And then Poohmaster picking places to just locus up in the back, staying safe, and just burst down the enemy team with this build. Looks like he had a lot of ability power by the end of the game and felt like just a very strong player on our team as well, doing most of the magic damage on our team, which is of course very important as well. Then we have our Leona player. Well, I mean, I considered after this game whether or not to report a Leona player. Ultimately decided not to, in part because I was in a good mood because we won, in part because Leona did stop doing the intentional feeding at the end of the game. But it's just, this is not the kind of player you want to have on your team. Someone who, as soon as things goes wrong, just immediately throws in the towel, does their best to throw the game, and then, oh, when we start turning it around, yeah, I'll jump on the bandwagon. I'll start helping you now that it looks like we're going to win the game. Just a thoroughly dislikable person, I have to say. So again, not trying to be mean to Armsun, but please, anyone watching this video, do not act like this player. Do not toss games. Do not throw things. Do not do your best to feed to the other team. It was worthy of a report, even though I didn't deserve to do so. And if there was any way I could not give the victory to Leona, I would definitely do so, because that player contributed extremely little to our winning the game. And then it was the other team. So what did they do wrong? How did they toss this game away? I mean, they just played super sloppy. They got ahead early, and then it was like they made no attempt to work together as a team. Not grouping up, being off in side lanes, not grouping up, not taking Baron, not taking Dragon. All kinds of sloppy mistakes on their team. They could have won the game so easily, and they just really kept diving us at towers over and over again, which is the easiest way to throw a game away. Now, at the end of the game, it seemed like they tried to blame it all on Alistar, and that I just see as sort of typical solo queue behavior. Hey, we lost this game, we shouldn't have lost. Let's single out one person on the enemy on our team and just throw all the blame on them as a way of diverting attention from our own mistakes. I didn't think Alistar did anything especially bad. I mean, Alistar didn't play great, but I mean, can you really say the rest of the team played great? Sion was out of position constantly on their team, so I see that as a way of deflecting blame, just throwing everything on Sion and throwing everything on Alistar and blaming them for the loss. So anyway, I talked enough already, but I just want to say this game was really satisfying to win, to come back there. I think a lot of people would have given up on this and just thrown in the towel when they were behind. Now, you won't be able to turn around games like this very often. It requires the enemy team making a lot of mistakes, but you know what? Sometimes they will make mistakes, particularly in solo queue games. People get sloppy in solo queue. They're not used to working with their teammates. They will make mistakes. And even if you might only be able to turn around a game maybe, what, 10% of the time, 5% of the time, isn't it worth playing on and trying? Isn't it worth, you know, giving your best effort, trying, even if you only win one game out of 20 where you turn it around? It's so satisfying when you do. So again, just sort of the way I see this game, if there's any chance of turning it around, just hang in there, see what you can do, wait for the enemy team to make mistakes, see if you can capitalize on them, and you'll be able to turn around games like this sometimes, once in a while. And when you do, it feels really good. Have to say that. Anyway, so once again, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed watching me ramble on here at the end. Have some more stuff up soon. Until then, take care, guys, and I'll see you soon.